the files, the stairs alone, for one reason and one reason only, to show you proper optimization of stairs, okay? So, one thing you want to do is go to this, wherever you saved your file, go to that machine's home, go to that directory's home directory, and you'll see a log file in there. Delete it because it'll contain a whole bunch of stuff, okay? Excuse me. And then run your map, but don't run the game. You have the option there to not run the game, okay? I want to show you something. You see it says don't run game, just run it, okay? And compile it. And then when it's done, go back to that machine's home directory and open the log file, okay? Open it with like Notepad, okay? Search for num portals. Oops, it would help if I spelled it correctly. Num, don't have my glasses on, num portals, okay? 884 number portals. Basically, when you create stairs, each stair, if you don't make your stairs a func detail by doing Control T on them, it creates portal files, okay? It creates portals. So the stairs that I made here, even though they're not textured, they're still creating viz leaves, okay? Now, I've only selected the stairs here, and I'll show you what the difference is. So, first thing we're going to do is go back and delete the log file so we'll have a fresh look at it when it's compiled, okay? I'm going to talk about all the stairs that are in my map, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the stairs, do Control T, func detail, okay? Hit apply, okay? Go back to the other stairs over here. I don't know if I did these, Control T. It's already a func detail. It says you have an existing func detail. Would you like to add this selection? And just say yes, whatever, you know, so whatever. So Control T, you know, if it's already done, so yes, okay, so there. So we're going to go back to the stairs over here, providing they're all grouped. As you can see, they all go red. Do Control T, func detail now, okay? Hit apply. And actually these walls here, because they're kind of angular, I make them a func detail as well. Control T, apply. And this wall, I guess you could group them and do them all at once. Control T, func detail, okay? And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select all of them. So select the walls, select this, do Control T. Yes. It looks like one of them was already a func detail. Func detail, okay? Apply. Cancel. Anything with complexity with it, anything you want, anything you don't need to render with the you know, with the engine, you don't need, we'll deal with stairs first to begin with. Actually, we'll just deal with stairs, okay? Because it's really vitally important that things get done properly, and that stairs are a func detail, okay? Let's see, did I add any more besides that? Let's see. No, I don't think I did. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to run the map again. Not playing the game, we're just going to run it. And we're going to do OK, let it compile. Okay, go to that machine's home directory, open the log file, open with Notepad, Control F, num. Wow, num portal. 558 from 800. That's a considerable amount, right? Say if I edited it by accident. So, one thing that's important that I didn't mention is you need to, and I should have did this in the very first video, when you click on the spawn point, when you click on, sorry, the spawn zone, if you go back into it, the start disabled should be set to yes on all of them. Okay, click apply. Okay, because it's controlled by spawn zone. And another thing too, I don't want this spawn, like the reason this spawn zone is so large is because I want the bots to spawn out here. If I take this now, and I don't want that to be that large, I want it to say, I want it to spawn it in this building. Obviously I want it smaller. let's see, and I obviously don't want it as tall because there are no bots down below, right? So I only want it to spawn on the upper part of the building, right? Wherever the floor is. Okay. And let me see. We're going to show you this block LOS in action. See, the spawn point is all in here now. See? Is it sticking outside anywhere? No. Okay. But our spawn point, our resupply, is still inside, which is fine. Okay. And the block zone is still there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the machine. We're going to go to the map directory, which on my machine is in. I put it on E drive, program files, Steam apps, common, Insurgency, maps. Okay, go down to the tut, delete the nav file, delete it. Okay, another thing this does too is because there's bots down below, they're going to be pretty pointless, so just remove them. Okay. You remember when we played it earlier, we had those bots spawning. Oops, Control Z. You don't want to delete the floor. Delete that bot, and delete this bot back here, hidden back here. Okay. Let's see, is there any other bots visible here? Okay, one door is open. Let's see. That looks good. So what we're going to do. Let me see. That looks good. So now we're going to do file save. First, and we're going to do run. And we're actually going to run the game this time. And we say run. So let's see what happens. And I hope you all downloaded the VMF file and put it in the Hammer and compiled it. Some of the textures may not appear for you because I have more textures than some. Not everybody has the same textures, right? So we're gonna go SV_cheats, and you can see it already appears there. Just press 1. Nav generate. Go down to nav generate. Wait till he's done. You can just press enter now. See what it does? See the way it pauses it out? It lags your machine out, which is fine. Okay, we're just actually going to load the M4. M4, because I like the M4. Okay, and we're going to put smoke. That's fine. Whatever, that's fine. Okay. Let me see. Probably want to go into God mode. But see, one door is open now and one door is closed, and we're going to show you what this is interesting thing with the LOS. Okay, we're going to see what happened. Wait till Mikey's done talking, and then when the timer gets to 15, there, 14, God mode. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up the right set of stairs, hidden. See, I'm running through the block zone, which is not nice, right? I made the block zone pretty big. So anyway, we're going to go up here. Remember, I put the LOS over here. So if I go up the stairs, unless they hear me, they're not going to shoot at me. See? They can hear me. There's a difference between sight and sound, obviously, right? I'm going to change the lighting in here to something a little bit more appropriate for this room, and I'll give you an idea. I went through the lighting before, but for some reason the audio didn't come out when I did it, and I don't know why. So we're going to do it again, and we're going to put some different lighting in here. All right? So it's weird that the door opens and closes. I'm not sure if that's to do with the fact that there's a bot underneath, but okay. So. See, the bots don't spawn down below anymore. Okay, so what we're going to do, now that you see the LOS kind of in the way it works, you saw me come up the stairs and them not really notice me. which is how the LOS works. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come into here. We're going to actually grab the entity tool, put the entity down, and we're going to, excuse me, press Alt-Enter on it. We're going to make it a prop static, prop underscore static, and it's already there. Press Apply, go to World Model, Browse. Now what I said in the previous video you didn't hear me say is I have 10,000 models in my collection. Okay, so I have to, if I type something now, the Hammer kind of freaks out and gives me multiple windows of this. So I just let it be happy and load 10,000 initially, so it builds a cache. Okay, so I let mine load, and then once it's done loading, then I type. It's already on light because I was playing with light earlier, so it remembers whatever I was on earlier. So what we're going to do is we're going to find drop lighting that I like to use commonly for. Okay, you can see the Insurgency models are right at the top, which is nice. So we're going to scroll through these and we're going to find one that we like. We want to find, like, not that one. That one's not the one I really like. I like the ones with the long and the flat little bars at the top. I like those. So let me see if I can find those. No, let's see. And unfortunately, you know, like, I mean, honestly, I spent a lot of time searching for an asset, and sometimes you won't find one. I mean, honestly, you'll see one in a map, in a game, in a map that you're playing, and you're like, oh, that's cool, I like that. I wish I had that in my game, you know, because I couldn't find it when I built my map. And so you go in there, you decompile the map to see what it's called, okay? I don't know if that's that one. I like the, no, it's not that one I want. Anyway, but you go into the map, you see what the model's called, and then you can reference it for your own map and change the one in your own map accordingly, okay? So, let's see. I'm going to put some, I can find it quickly here. So yeah, so I mean, decompiling maps, you're not hurting anything. You're not re-releasing the map under a new name, calling it your own map. You're going to, there's an inevitability where you're going to get at a point where you're going to decompile maps to look at the way they're built, or models they use, or how they made something. Okay, how they textured something, how they drew something, how they put decals on it, and so forth. Right? Because everybody has their own way of doing things. You know, there it is. There. Okay. So if I say, oh wait, is there two? Is there one? There's a longer one and a shorter one. Okay, so I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to hit Apply. Okay, now it's obviously in the floor, but that's okay, so don't worry about that. Control X, and we're going to put one roughly about there, and we're going to put one over here. Let's see, we're going to put one here. Okay, and then we're going to take this and remove. Oops. Take this and remove it. And we're going to take this and we're going to put it here. But we're going to make it match the color. We're going to make it match the color. Move it down. You don't want it close to the bulb because it doesn't look very real if it's close to the bulb. So what you do is you press Alt-Enter. You go to the color, or the brightness, okay? And then you go pick color, and you pick the color. There's a way to do the picker. I don't know why it didn't show up there, but okay, so we'll make it like roughly like a yellowish color, like similar to the light, okay? And then we're going to make the brightness a little bit brighter. Make it, I don't know, 170. That might be too bright. Okay. I'm going to come up to the other light, do a Control V. We're going to drop it roughly about the same place, and then we're going to see how that looks when you come into the room. And then you can also add your like, there's a way to add like halogen, or not halogen, fluorescent buzzing, you know, and stuff like that. You can add stuff like that. That's really cool. Okay, so there's that. Let me quickly see here. And one thing you can do, there's no harm in deleting the nav file if you just want to just work on your map and not have any bots, right? So I'm just going to delete the nav file because I don't want any bots when I'm working, okay? Or you could just rename it or whatever you want, okay? We're going to run it. Run map. Entities you have to be careful with entities because they can they can go through brushes and cause leaks. You have to be careful if you haven't already had that problem already. So I think it's going to look a little bit nicer than it did before. You can see the trees casting a shadow in the sun, which is nice, and now stairs aren't finished, but that's fine, right? So the realism, the simplest things, adding props and entities to your level can increase it 100 times. Like the ability to make it look 100 times better. I mean, the simplest things, and it makes such a big difference. Okay, let's see how it looks in here. See, it's got that nice little glow. You see okay, there's one thing I wanted to bring up here. You see the shadow on the ceiling? You don't necessarily need to have that there. Sometimes depending on the color and like it just looks, I don't know if it may look all right to some people, but it may not. You know what I mean? Like that shadow is awfully bright for a fluorescent. Like if that was incandescent, I could see it maybe, but fluorescents don't really give that much shadow. So what you do is you go back to the model. Go back to the model. Go back to the model. Right, Alt Enter. You see where it says disable shadows. Click it to yes, and hit apply. And then get out of here, and then go to this one. This is a big deal because you'd be surprised how disabling shadows really affects the overall mood. I just wanted to bring it to your attention because it was a big deal for me. When I made Warehouse, it was just really weird how many shadows were being caused. Excuse me, and what it looked like, and then people would say to me, "Oh, the lights don't look quite right. It's got that weird glow or weird shadow in the ceiling." And then I would think about it, and I was like, what happens if I remove shadows? And after I removed shadows, I couldn't believe the difference of a small thing like that would make. Like, you think, how trivial is removing shadows from a lamp? Right, but it makes a big difference, right? Like you saw it before when I ran it, and when you walk in there now, there's no shadow, and it's a different, it's almost a different mood. It's really weird, you know what I mean? So pay attention to lighting, shadows, light brightness. It's extremely important. I mean, there are masters of light. Let me tell you, there are game map developers that are amazing at light. They just never seem to get light wrong, and I guess that comes with experience, or and we'll see. But lighting effect, especially if you're indoors, if you have an indoor-outdoor map, or if you have a strictly indoor map, then yeah, it's we'll see what it looks like now without the shadows. See, no shadows. Notice it looks a little different. It feels a little different. Like it's like a glow. It's like a temperature in the room. It's like a feeling in the room, and the shadows are not taking center stage by causing your eye distractions by looking at something else you're not supposed to, right? Okay, so this room is one room, but you wouldn't believe the simple things you can do to that room to make it look like a real bloody room. It's just amazing the things you can do in Hammer Editor. That's one of the best things about Hammer, is that you can do so much to make it look real, right? You can put fire hydrants and hoses on the ground, even a skylight if you want. You can even put a skylight in there if you want it without lights. You know what I mean? There's so much. There's endless possibilities, and that's what I was saying about creativity of the map. So, a typical room, standard room, four walls, and lighting and so forth. But let's say there's there's a broken wall here, there's a crack here. You can put cracks in the ground. You can put like generators here. You can make generators have sound. I mean, and then the other thing I wanted to bring up too, if you do have a problem with stairs, and out of all of Warehouse, I had this one objective where the bots, no matter how many times I rebuilt the stairs, I rebuilt the stairs several times, okay, perfectly, and they would never climb them, and I never understood why, and I still don't understand why. So then I asked Mike, my friend Mike Hawk, and I said, hey, I got these stairs, and there's typical standard stairs, like they look like this one's here in front of me. They almost look identical to this. And he says, oh, put a player clip on top of them. So I will show you what this is all about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the actually, let me do it on this side because these aren't grouped. Let me see if these are grouped. Okay, these are not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the side view, and then I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw a line. We're going to draw the box. We're going to get here. We're going to draw a line. Let me see. How am I going to do this? Yeah, so we're going to see if we can do this properly. Go right to the bottom. Okay. So what you're going to do is we're going to do clip. Just type in clip, C-L-I-P, and you'll see player clip down here. See player clip? Okay, player clip. And we're going to press enter. Okay. Obviously the player clip is solid to the player, so we're not concerned with that right now. Okay. We're going to leave it selected, and we're going to grab the I think I made it wrong anyway. No, maybe not. Did I make it too tall? Okay, so there. Oh, wait a second. Where's the bottom of the stairs? That's a step. That's... I think I made that too tall. Okay, so what we're going to do... actually, we want to make it right from here, from the top of this step. So we're going to grab our clip, and we're going to grab this. We're going to draw. We're going to draw. We're going to draw that to the top point on the next stair. Okay, and then we're going to cut out the top part. Okay, where it's red. Okay, so only the tips of the stairs are touched. Okay, press enter. Okay, now. See what this looks like? This looks like a ramp, right? But it's actually a smooth ramp all the way to the top. So, on this side, what we're going to do is we're going to put it on one side. You can see the player clip still underneath here. That's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to compile the map, and we're going to show you the difference between them. Okay? So, file, save that. And if you run across bots, I mean, you can watch them. You can watch them climb stairs or lack of running upstairs, and you'll see them. You'll see player clip in some parts of the map, and not in other parts of the map. Okay. Now, when you typically run upstairs, you can see the character. You can see your screen jumping, like you know, like the step when you climb stairs. Okay. To the normal eye, to the normal player playing, it so happens so quickly that you don't notice it. Okay. I mean, people who pay attention to map development or do map development do notice the player step, okay? So we'll show you what happens here.
There's a heavy insurgent presence in this area. We've been ordered to clear it. Move through the caches you find. Watch for counterattacks.
Okay, so we're going to run up the steps without the player clip, and you can see the way the character moves, okay? Even if we run, doesn't matter. Okay.
Hey, where the hell are you going? Get back here.
So we're going to run.
Hey, you don't have orders to be there.
Okay, we're going to run up the non-player clip stairs and watch the character. It's kind of jittery, right? A little bit, not a lot. Stairs are fairly straightforward, right? Do that again. You can notice it more on the railing. See that? You notice it more on the railing. Okay. Now watch this. Ready? See how nice and smooth that is? Very little jump, right? And bots like smooth areas to run up, especially ramps, right? It's such a small thing, but you wouldn't believe how important it is later on when you're trying to develop, you know, stuff like, you know, trying to develop bots that really move around. Like, for instance, like if bots spawn now, bots will definitely come down those stairs faster than they will those stairs. Because when you see a bot climb down a non-player clip stairs, the bots seem jumpy. Okay, and we're gonna try that. We're gonna try that, right? We're gonna go to SV cheats 1, and then we're gonna do nav underscore generate, and then we're gonna run it, and then you're gonna be able to see it. You're going to be able to see the bots when they come down the stairs. It's such a small thing. Little small things that I wasn't told, that I had to figure out by somebody else. And I had lots of problems. Believe me, I had lots of problems trying to figure stuff out. And it drove me insane some days why I could. Like, I thought I'd never finish Warehouse because of this one problem. And it's not this stair problem, but there was other problems that I couldn't fix that Chief C helped me out with. And I am eternally grateful to that man. Okay, so let's see what the bots do. See, watch. See that? See how smooth he came down those stairs? We'll try the player clip again against the. We'll try the player clip, or not the player, the LOS. We'll try to crouch and try to not to make any noise. Okay, the LOS is right here and up against the wall. Wait for the door to close. I don't think he must have been behind the door, but you see my point. It's not 100% perfect, but it definitely will help you. It's probably not great in this situation, but it definitely does work. I mean, maybe it's touching a brush. I think it is touching the ground. Maybe I need to check it, and that's part of the problem. So, because the LOS brush cannot be touching any other brushes. Remember, I said that in 3. So I think I actually let it touch the floor. If you look here, oh, maybe not. No, it's not touching the floor. But it's also not sealed. You remember? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it in. He can see me through the crack, right? I mean, bots are pretty smart. Okay, so I think it's touching. You can actually see it from here. Zoom right in, and then click on the wall, and you can see where the LOS brush is compared to the wall, and you can see that is okay. So it can go over one more. Okay. That's pretty close. That's one unit away. Okay. Don't forget they can see you through the bottom too. So if you're walking, make sure it's almost not, you're not perfectly sealed, but you can see there's a big difference between the bottom and the. Let's see. So that's the floor. You don't want it touching the floor, but you definitely want it close enough where he cannot see you, because bots have a weird tendency to see you even when you're not there, and that's always been a problem. So that's until you realize that, you know, I mean, it's gonna improve your map, especially if you have a tight quarter map, a tight close quarters map. Sometimes you don't want the bots knowing that you're there, right? You want kind of the element of surprise, kind of different things, different tactics, and different reactions out of the bots. So that's important too. So we're going to run this again with a tighter LOS and see if that helps. Okay. Of course, you can't see the LOS, so that doesn't mean it's not there. There's a lot of textures you can't see. You can't see the block zone. You can't see the spawn zones, obviously. So forth. You can't see the capture zone. Okay, let me turn God mode on. Oh, I have to do SV cheats. SV cheats 1. God mode on. Okay. So let me see if this is any better.
Where are you going? Come back. Stop it. Turn around. It's going the wrong way.
Alright, let's see if we can get away with this little crouch. Okay, they came out the door, so just wait. He might have been able to hear me. See what happens. Knock, 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 knock.
Hey, we're taking Alpha.
Something's not right here. You can see this wall's not touching the ground. Something's not right here. There's no draw. You can see that? Small little mistakes like that cause the engine to detect certain things. So be careful when you're drawing things. Make sure they don't. Make sure they touch. Make sure they're sealed. You're not going to cause a leak there, but make sure it looks, make sure that it's the same level as the other one next to it. And same with this one. This one's up in the air too, right? You can see here. Small little things like that. Sure. Most of the time you're in a hurry making maps, and there's certain things you're not disregarding. You're just for a fact. Okay, here it is here, right? For instance, go to you can see here's the floor and here's the wall. It's obviously too high, so we're going to make it go down to the floor. Go over to this one. This one's too high again. You can see there's the floor right here. Go down, pull it down. Now it's touching the floor. Now that lighting effect will be gone. And obviously it's no draw up here, but you could put a skylight up here if you wanted to. There's you can make it a nighttime map if you wanted to. There's no harm in that. You could put glass in and so forth. And there's certain textures for glass that work better than others. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pause this for now, and then I'm going to quickly put together the other half of the video, and then come back when I'm ready to introduce